Welcome to Joe's Atmosphere.
Cook your shrimp, please. All of a sudden, my shrimp pan is burning up like a smoke fest.
All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard for State of the Atmosphere. Tonight, we've got a lot to talk about, including the new version of my favorite female superhero. Tonight on State of the Atmosphere. All right, welcome aboard for State of the Atmosphere. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere. It's good to see you. And as usual, I've got my regular crew and some new guests tonight. Of course, we've always got Knock. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Not too bad. Just still enthralled by Palworld, but
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people are playing it. We'll be talking about that later on because I am committed to finishing the IGN top 100 tonight. What do we got? 12 to go. We can do it by the end of the night. I know we can. And we've got a new guy on the panel. You've seen him in the chat a lot, but now we get to see him in person. Admiral Teague has been gracious enough to join us. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. And no longer shall you review bomb the New York Jets from on high in your ivory tower there in NFL headquarters with your office behind Roger Goodell's doing his bidding.
You think
Hello,
I'm just
everybody.
a mouthpiece for Goodell every Sunday, don't you?
Absolutely. I am here in a cave in New York giving commands. This morning, we have deployed a new plan. At the beginning of every game next year, we will fight for control of the 5G towers so that you will be given the actual jet game instead of a simulation.
Well, it's good to have you, Teague, man.
Nice to be
I'm
here.
looking
Thanks for
forward to
having me.
your thoughts. I know he is a big Star Trek guy. You guys need to watch his channel. He does great stuff about Star Trek. He's looking to save it. Let's hope that they can save it in the future because let's face it, those of us that I mean, I'm a fan of the OG series myself.
Yeah.
But and my wife and I, we make our own lineups for stuff we watch. And right now in the 8:00 slot, we're watching Next Generation from the beginning. We just started it this week. And I thought it was funny that the second episode they did on Next Generation was a follow-up to Naked Time. It was called The Naked Now. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
I had heard that during the filming of Encounter at Farpoint, which is the first ever episode of Next Generation,
right.
The directors and Gene Roddenberry and everyone else accelerated doing that story in the production schedule ahead of other stories because they're like, these people really need a story where they can be less uptight. They're like,
they
are not related.
Picard comes off like a dick in that first show.
He is a
really
dick.
Does. Yeah, it's huge. It's
ultimately, in the end, that man, All Good Things was the only goodbye I ever asked for. All others are unasked for, and their movies were pretty much ass.
They were, but I do look. What's the name of it? First
Contact's
Contact.
the one people
First
like.
Contact it's in my top 3. It is. It's Wrath of Khan, the Undiscovered Country, and number 3 is First Contact. I dig that movie. I think it's really good.
I would suggest number 3 should be number 3 because if you think about First Contact, it's not very good Star Trek. It's too convenient.
Yeah.
Just the idea that, and I'll keep this really brief. Think about this. We find out that the Borg travel back in time. Their plan B is better than their plan A. Okay, good enough. Fine. Okay, that's fine. That's convenient enough. But look, Captain, there's a temporal wake we can follow them back by. This is like really un-Star Trek. In fact, what they could have done is realized the planet had become Borgified, maybe showed us that great visual, and then used regular Star Trek time travel to go around the sun and just rewind time the regular way. It would be just as exciting and not as stupid.
I hear you.
Sorry.
I don't think about Star Trek that deeply like some of you guys do. I just enjoyed the movie. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. I loved him I think the scene with him and the girl in his cabin, where he basically comes off like Captain Ahab is fantastic, man. I thought it was really good. Let's say hi to the chat. And before we do that, though, let's say hi to our newest member of the panel, My Blue Kevin. What's going on, man?
How you doing, sir?
Knock, you know this guy. That's Jack. That's the Great Pumpkin. But
hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
But anyway, let's say hi to the chat real quick. We got Radioactive in from Teague's channel. Let's see, Susan Eckstein. And let's see who else we got. Lady V's in, as usual. What's up, bitches? Good to see you. And then we've got the Penguin is in the house. Low Spec. Yes. What's going on, Big Daddy? How are you doing, Kevin? It's good to see you, man.
I'm good. I was just making dinner, and all of a sudden I looked at the clock, and I was like, oh, crap, I made an appointment. And I need to get to it.
It's okay, man. I told you, people come in and out of here. So I do it for 2 hours, from 5:30 to 7:30, because everybody knows I get my steak and eggs when the wife gets home from the restaurant. So,
right on.
Gotta get that in. So anyway,
Protein.
we also got Sci-Fi Mombi in the house. Teague's channel.
Hello.
Good to see you. So anyway, let's get started with the pop culture update this week. Not much going on, really. First of all, let's go ahead. You know, the one thing, I'm sitting here bullshitting with my man Teague before the show, and I forgot to get the box office numbers up. I always lead with that. I forgot about it. Let me grab that real quick, fellas. Just bear with me. I guess,
gentlemen,
it's part of
the
the pop culture. Let's get everybody's thoughts on the Super Bowl matchup real quick while I'm doing this. It's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers. Yeah, I know you don't like it, Knock, because you're sick of that dude. He's a Denver Broncos fan, so of course he's leading the way, trying to get the Chiefs out of their winning ways. But yeah, I thought the same thing. I wanted the Lions in there. I didn't really care who showed up from the NFC, or excuse me, the AFC. I didn't care. I didn't really care. I wanted the Lions in there from the NFC. So, Teague, what do you think about it?
I'm going to watch the movie Sum of All Fears instead.
I'm watching
it. Really nails that Harrison Ford role. You know what I'm saying? It comes right in there.
That's an Alex Baldwin role, sir. I'm sorry. The best Jack Ryan ever is Alex Baldwin, even though he's a nutbag.
He is a nutbag. He's a good Jack Ryan. I'm surprised no one's memed him and Sean Connery in a Torpedo 2. You know, certain things don't react very well with bullets. And he just kind of looks at him and looks at his gun. And it's like, yeah, dummy.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Connery.
Let's see. That's not right. Or is it? Let's see. Yeah, we're on the 31st. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay, so we've got the box office numbers for this week here. Let's take a look at them real fast. Mean Girls come out number 1 with 15 million. Then The Beekeeper at number 2 with 12 million. Wonka's still making money. Anyone But You, the Christmas romantic comedy, is still making a few million. And Migration, So yeah, Aquaman still
It's
is
hanging around
lingering,
like
but
bad popcorn.
it is. But I went and saw that one, and it was okay. There was some good stuff. There was bad stuff, but mostly it looked like it was borrowing from a bunch of different movies. But we're going to see The Beekeeper uh, this weekend, me and the wife. So
It's
I'm
already
looking
on
forward to seeing
streaming, I
that.
believe.
Is it The
Yes.
Beekeeper?
Yes, it
Oh
is.
wow, okay.
There are several HD cuts of that movie available on various services.
Oh, okay. All right. I did not
Am
know
I
that.
the only one who feels like the beekeeper sounds like someone used a serious topic meme generator to make the title? It's like I need something to beep. It has to. I want to draw people in, yet at the same time have just
Something
an
that
element
hasn't
of
been done
danger.
yet.
Like
Yeah.
perhaps I care about someone with anaphylactic shock, but I don't
Well,
want
we
to
do
go
that
too
on
far.
this channel, buddy. We
They
have
do that, but I need a code name that nobody
right.
uses.
I need
Yeah.
a code
Well,
name that nobody
they
uses.
should just call that movie The Honey Pot.
Well, what we do around here is at least once every couple of months we have a meeting of the Mojo Dojo Casa House uh, production company, and we get out the AI generators and we make movies. Man, you should go back and see some of those meetings of the Mojo Dojo Casa House. We've done a couple of them, and they're pretty good, man. We there's a reason why they're scared of AI in Hollywood, man.
That's
You can actually come up with some good shit using
Actors
that stuff.
beware.
That's
I'm
it.
The
staying
problem is
very,
they
very
come up with like the
healthy.
same 5 actors and actresses for every role.
Yeah, that's the problem
Uh,
with it. Yeah, they keep casting the same people in it. What do you
Always
get
the
the
same
casting
guy.
part? It's
Looking
so
forward to
funny.
that day, and I think that we all should be, right. Like I'm gonna like start jogging over this one, but we might be 20 to 25 years away from a point where we can write our own novel, right? And
Mhm.
then if we have the proper computer, dump that into that computer, and 2 to 12 hours later, a rendered fairly good movie of almost photographic quality will then be presented to us, and we can like then edit that movie to have like different scene shots.
Right.
And that's where I think we're 20 years away from that. Just writing down your story,
That'll be
and
the
a computer will
absolute
be able
death
to
of
render it.
Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, there's already guys. There's already guys remaking movies on YouTube. I mean, re-editing movies and improving them on YouTube.
Mhm.
I mean, look,
They've been
man.
doing this for a while.
Did it to the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
right?
I tell
They
you,
improved their Luke.
hang on just one second. Martin Acosta is saying hi. It's good to see you, brother. He's my man from Pop Culture Minefield. He said, no, what did I miss? Who's going to be Supergirl? We're fixing to get into that. We're still in the pop
Dylan
culture part of
Mulvaney.
it, though.
Yeah, stay
Yeah, right.
tuned.
Dylan Mulvaney. Stay tuned, brother. You'll find out. And
we're gonna keep you on
and
the edge of your seat. You could easily Google it, or you can wait until we mention it.
if only there was this thing we could find
Let
out
me
who
just
it was.
let me just put it to you this way: everyone's gonna love her name.
Dude,
gonna
yeah.
love it. We're
Wow.
gonna love it.
What a name. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get on to the pop culture stories. I liked this headline. Margot Robbie says there's no reason to feel sad over Best Actress Oscar snub. Beyond ecstatic for 8 Barbie nominations, but Greta Gerwig should obviously be up for Best Director. Now, I love that that she has that sentiment. She's not worried about herself, and she's sticking up for her director. I like that. I thought it was funny as shit that they didn't nominate those two. They nominated Ken instead. I thought that was really
I can
cool.
understand
And America
that,
Ferrera.
though.
So if you've seen the movie, it makes sense who they nominated because they stole the movie. Both of them did. So,
If we throw our minds into the Hollywood filter, it's like
Mhm.
we can't reward someone for playing Barbie. It's kind of a stereotype, you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
that's like everything we're
stereotypical
fighting
Barbie.
against. It's a problematic, and this, I don't think it's going to follow her around. Like, it would have been worse if she'd been nominated for it. She did not expect this to be her most critically acclaimed movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
She
think
did
so
not
either.
expect that.
I
didn't
think she
expect this
thought
to
that she was
be-
doing a toy commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, Wolf of Wall Street is still a better movie, but they're on opposite end of the spectrum as far as enjoyability. But
Right.
why wouldn't the villain steal a movie like this? Or would they construe to be their villain? Because I would say they probably accidentally well motivate Ken.
Man, let me tell you. All I know is the guy Ryan Gosling. I've been saying it for a long time that he's one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood. And when I walked out of there, my wife and I went and saw it opening weekend, and he cracked me up. I loved it. I thought it was great. His over the top performance in that movie was fantastic, dude. I thought it was great. The next story we got here is let's see, a grab at Paramount. Looks like Byron Allen, the well-known
This is the shocking
billionaire.
part is the buyer. The
Yeah,
buyer.
Byron Allen. Well, he tried to get BET last year, didn't he? I can't remember exactly.
We found out that after all those years of being on, when you come home from a night of wild partying at 5 a.m. to turn on the TV and it's kicking it with Byron Allen, he saved every dime and somehow became this enormous investor who can make or break a network. That said, you and I had enough money to buy the CW sold for $1. I don't know why I couldn't be there and be. I put in my bid. I bid $5. I'm accusing them of collusion.
But it says here that the shares of Paramount are trading up because of the $30 billion offer he put up to acquire the company. That is, I mean, we've heard all kinds of rumors about Paramount and Warner Brothers merging, that kind of thing. Both of these movie companies are in trouble, mostly, I think, because of their streaming stuff. But yeah, that's an interesting one. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that one and see what happens with that.
It's shocking to find out he's a billionaire, isn't it?
Yeah,
Am I the only one. Byron Allen, multi-billionaire.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. I didn't know about the guy till last year.
Story.
I really didn't.
It's in the 70s on a show called Real People, and I realized it wouldn't last forever. So I started what I called the rhombus scheme, which is not like the pyramid scheme. I kept buying things, borrowing more and renting and bringing in more and more cash. I started collecting the money in huge piles. I mean, my God, how did he do this?
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
He wasn't Johnny. He's not Johnny Carson, but he's been on since Johnny Carson was on.
Yep. And then we've got, this one was just in, I saw it right before we went on air. A judge dismisses Disney's suit against DeSantis. So that's another loss for Disney. The company had accused the Florida governor of a targeted campaign of government retaliation. The federal judge Wednesday dismissed it. So, that Disney is losing on all fronts these days. They're not having a good post-COVID run, as they say. I highly suggest you pay attention to DW Pro. He covers Disney like nobody else, and keep up with those stories there. Hey, what's going on, John? It's good to see you. Man. Let's see.
Come on.
What else we got here?
We've been watching YouTube videos.
But that's it for the pop culture stuff. There really wasn't much going on. You got somebody behind you there, Jack. But anyway, there wasn't much going on this week in the pop culture news. They've got a couple of movies coming out this weekend. I'm not sure. Let's take a look real quick at what's coming out this weekend.
Garbage followed by the same old repetitive crap. Here we go again.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. I think Argyle comes out this weekend. I think it starts Friday. I like Matthew Vaughn, so I'm going to be looking forward to that. Oh, it may be out already. It may have come out this week. This last.
Does Argyle have Hank Cavill in it? Was I right
Yep.
when I heard that?
Yeah. Yep. He's in it. Yep.
He's like I'm an American. I reserve the right to call him Hank Cavill.
I hear you, brother. Yeah. I hear you. He's the fictional version of Argyle. That's
okay. So this is the spy movie that's supposed to be like Stranger Than Fiction.
Right. Exactly. Well, this is the kind of story that's been told several times. You know, my favorite version of this kind of thing is Delirious with John Candy. If you ever saw that,
that was the first one.
He was a soap opera writer, and he got knocked on the head, and he found himself inside his own soap opera, and he found out that if he could write the soap opera. So it was so funny, man.
Oh my God, really with Robert Downey Jr. and Virginia Marsden.
What's that? Is that who?
With Robert Downey Jr. is one of the other writers, and Virginia Marsden is in it from Raging Bull.
I have not seen that movie in a long time. I just remember.
Are you talking about? I think he's talking about Soap Dish.
That's that's
Soap Dish.
Yeah,
that's Soap Dish. Delirious is with John Candy, and he's a soap opera writer, and I can't remember if he falls and hits his head or if he's in a car wreck or what, but his head gets busted, and he wakes up and he's in the soap opera that he writes as a new character, and he finds out in the story that he can write what happens in the story, and it is freaking hilarious, man. It's a great movie. If you
I
haven't
remember
seen
that
it,
one
look
too.
up
Hi,
John
Russell.
Candy's Delirious and watch that movie. You will. It's a really
He
good time.
did,
It's this kind of thing.
he did a couple of sleeper hits that year. I think the other one was Only the Lonely.
Yeah.
But Delirious is a great film.
John, how are you?
Yes,
It's
I'm
good to
doing
see
good.
you. You just getting home?
Yep, just walked in the door long enough to hit the facilities and grab something to drink and hop on.
And we are here. Yes. All you've missed is the pop culture update, man. That is it. So now you guys know our next subject is near and dear to my heart because she sits next to me in several different hang on, guys. Let me blow this up for those that have never seen these. I've got my new 52 Supergirl right here. I got the Melissa Benoist one, and up there on the wall, you can't see it. It's up there above my arrow thing. I have my Helen Slater signed Supergirl. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of the character, and we apparently have a new Supergirl. And it's somebody I don't know about, but my man Knock does for sure. I know because he's a big fan of the series she just came off of. DC's new Supergirl is House of the Dragon star Millie Alcock. Now I got to tell you, that last name, she needs to change it. She really does. I don't know.
It turns out we've been saying it wrong all the time. It's actually Alcock. Yeah,
Alcock, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is just them trolling her, right, on the internet. Yeah, but yeah, apparently she was in House of the Dragon. Knock.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was she was the first 5 episodes of it.
She was the young,
younger version
Brianna.
of and then they had a different. I don't know what you call it. Can't say her. It's not a her. It. Whoever it was that played the second half.
Yeah.
Doesn't identify as a woman person.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, we got 6 things that you didn't know about DC's Supergirl star Millie Alcock. She's an Australian actor that will play Supergirl in James Gunn's rebooted DC universe. She previously played what Knock was talking about. I can't even pronounce this name. What's the name, Knock? In House of the Dragon? Can you read that? Is it even big enough for you to read? It's Rinray.
Is it Rhaenyra Targaryen?
Rhaenyra Targaryen. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra Targaryen. And here's 6 things about her. Obviously, she grew up in Sydney, Australia, right? She found herself an agent when she was 13. What the hell? But when she realized most of her peers already had agents, she took matters into her own hands. Wow. That's okay. Cool. Alcock dropped out of high school to star in Tim Minchin's Upright. I've never seen that. In 2018. This girl is young, man. Wow. Okay. Alcock kept working at a cafe after being cast in House of the Dragon. And wow. Okay, she's that chick. She was on the other show too, right? As an older version of her on the main show. No. Okay.
No.
All right. I thought they had a blonde chick on there.
This House of Dragons is hundreds of years before the other.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
None of these
guys. Yeah. She's now a Punk fan thanks to her Dragon co-star. What? What the hell? Wow. Okay.
And the lack of any new good music in 50 years.
That could do it too. Yeah, no kidding.
It's like Never Mind the Bollocks will always be the last great album ever made for some strange reason.
And then number 6, Alcock doesn't want another fantasy role. Well, why the hell did she take Supergirl? That's almost a fantasy role. But yeah, okay. So there you go. 6 things about Miss Alcock. I've got to stop saying her name. I'm on the verge of laughing every time I say it. Good Lord. But yeah, that's I tell you, when I was making the thumbnail for this, yeah, it fits. She's got the right look, no doubt about it. She's got the right look. I definitely buy her better than the last girl that played her in that Flash movie.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah. Well, you know
Never
what?
mind.
You know what was really bad about it, Kevin. I don't know if you've seen the movie or not, but
Oh yeah.
they actually got the character right. They got the character right, and that's what pisses me off the most about it. They put that great character in that shitty ass movie. You know what I mean? I was so angry, man.
I think the worst
Oh,
thing about the
God.
movie was the CGI. I
Yeah,
think everything
it
else
was.
could have been forgiven if the CGI was a lot better.
Yeah.
Because first of all, if you're going to bring back Christopher Reeves, make it mean something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
Second of all, is it kind of in bad taste to have him standing up. You know,
Yeah.
I understand why they did it, but
Mhm.
still.
Oh, wow.
I hadn't even thought about it that way, man. Oof.
Yeah. and then finally, I think the Nicolas Cage thing was kind of cool, but it was unneeded.
Yeah. That was they were playing with their food at that point. They really were, man. It was just but I'm a huge fan of the character, and she's you know, she's unlike Clark. Clark, the only thing he knows is Earth. That's all he knows, right? He's basically human in mentality, right? She is a
Except in the
Kryptonian teenager.
Snyderverse.
She is a Kryptonian teenager that came here, and she remembers Krypton, and she's pissed off that it's gone. She does not like, what's happened in her life so far, and she's an angry person. That's why she ended up, when they did the New 52 run, a lot of people didn't like the New 52 run, but one of the bright lights in it was the Supergirl books. If you read those, they're good stories. And she ended up getting the red ring. As far as I know, she's the only being that's ever taken off a red ring and survived in the DC lore. So, it's a pretty cool run. If you haven't read it, and you can have the means to read it, I would highly suggest it. Yeah, I had a good time with it. But this girl, what those of you that have seen her do some stuff, what do you think? You think she's going to do well at it?
I think she'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Supergirl in general may be successful, but I'm not going to hold my breath on anything that James Gunn is doing just yet.
Yeah. I agree with you, Ray. Just like Dr. Fate was in the forgettable Black Adam. Yeah, every one of these movies has some good stuff in it, and yeah, that's the only reason I paid to go see Black Adam was because my boy. Everybody knows I'm a huge James Bond fan, and Pierce Brosnan's one of my favorite Bonds. And I went to see it just to see him play Dr. Fate, and he knocked it out of the park, man. He was the best thing in that movie. So, to me, anyway. But The Rock's going to rock, James right?
Bond.
So,
Check
what's
out
that?
1923 and check out Timothy Dalton as a bad guy in that one. That's pretty incredible too.
Which one?
The Yellowstone 1923. He faces
okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Timothy Dalton was born to be bad guys. He's so
right.
great.
He's pretty tough. He's a tough dude, man. Well, he's an Irishman, man. They actually put an Irish.
He's from isn't he from maybe the north, right?
I'm not sure exactly where.
Dalton, I think, is British.
What is it?
Pierce Brosnan is Irish. Dalton is British.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
I was talking about Brosnan.
Timothy Dalton's in 19. Another good Bond appearance would be Dalton is in 1923.
Yeah.
We had two really good Bonds in our lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Not old enough to remember Connery, even though he does do one outlier movie.
Oh, Connery was Connery's
little kids.
Connery's look, he's the tough guy's Bond, no doubt. I always thought Pierce was my favorite because he pulled off the classy guy better than Connery did, if you ask me. But he had a little bit more toughness than Roger Moore to him. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
When Roger Moore would get tough, it would be a movie kind of built around backing up the fact that he'd been a little too plush and funny a few times too many, so they'd have to get very serious.
Well, they made the character a clown by the end of his run. I mean, literally.
Wasn't he in a film called Octopussy?
Yes, he was. Yes.
Why wasn't that theme song the same as the name of the movie?
Right, come on. How come they didn't use that in there? Yeah, what the hell? What's up, Ruben?
Good to see you, buddy. Song. Hello.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to seeing this chick. It's just, every time I read more about this James Gunn Superman movie, it's got more and more characters in it, which means what looks like to me, they're trying to do something kind of like Dawn of Justice, the Batman versus Superman movie, shove too much into one movie, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We've already found out that Nathan Fillion is going to be playing Guy Gardner in it. So
I love Nathan Fillion as an actor, but that is wrong casting.
yeah, well, I don't. You know me, I'm not into the Green Lantern Corps, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
know. But I know he's a beloved character. Not Guy Gardner, but the Lanterns themselves. The most I know about it is from that video game I play. That's it.
Yeah.
But
They
Yeah.
may surprise us, because the way they changed Michael Rooker's character in Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
Yondu, the way they changed him up was just beyond what the comic ever did. But he's one of the most popular characters in the franchise.
yeah, absolutely. That second one, he stole the movie. He really did.
Mary Poppins.
The two father figures he had in that movie, Yondu was definitely the better guy. No doubt. What was that, John?
I was going to say a lot of that is due to the actor, not just how he was written.
Right. Michael
agreed.
Rooker's a really good actor.
Agreed.
He's been around for a long time. But I'm looking forward to it, man. It's just, I hope, there's all kinds of speculation about this stuff, but I'm leaning towards, James Gunn wants to do something of something that he digs, so. And he's done well with the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. I mean, if I was going to rank the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, I'd say the third movie was the second best of the bunch, if you ask me. I thought it was better than part two, especially with the bad guy they had, and the whole Rocket sub story was freaking awesome. I just hope he puts that kind of thinking into what he's doing with the Superman.
This
stuff.
is the same guy that crapped all over Adam Warlock, so.
Yeah, true. He did.
Yes,
he did. Yes, he did. It's obvious which characters he likes and which ones he doesn't, right? Yeah, he made Adam Warlock look like a total idiot in that show, and he's a very beloved character. Everybody was just dying to see him, and I think they were mostly. The comic book guys that had read that character were kind of disappointed. I didn't know much about him, so.
Well, he stole the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I got to tell you, if it has nothing to do with Spider-Man or X-Men, I don't pay attention to it. He
has a split personality. He has an altered personality called Magus, who is a villain.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that sounds like that. Sounds like that. God awful frigging character they put on Disney Plus. What was the name of it? Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Oh, they just
Oh
screwed
my
that up so
God.
bad.
Oh
Wow,
no,
that
this
was
is
a
nothing
horror.
like that. This is well done. I mean,
Yeah. Well, what I meant was Moon Knight's a great comic book. My brother loves it. He thinks it's fantastic. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like that kind of character, split personality. One takes over every once in a while, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out hope that Marvel gets its shit together and we get a proper Rogue. That would be a great way for him to kill off Brie Larson, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Suck the Miss Marvel right out of her.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I liked Anna Paquin in that role.
Yeah.
But I just got done kind of watching through the X-Men movies again, and because of Bryan Singer's problems, they kind of get kicked to the Fantastic Four people twice.
Mm-hmm.
And those two movies made by the Fantastic Four people, that would be Last Stand and the very last one.
Yeah.
Last Class, whatever the hell it's called. Those two stories want to validate each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that and it's almost the same story twice. Like, you didn't like that where you got rid of Scott first time. We'll keep him alive in this story. We'll just make him an idiot. He's like a reverse Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But the other movies, Bryan Singer does lose the thread as he's trying to overcorrect because when he can't control the X-Men, they get thrown for a weird loop, and then he's like a man slipping on ice after that. He's graceful sometimes only by mistake, and the rest of the time it's like, oh my God, he's going to go down and get hurt so bad. And at the end, It just he takes a spill, and so does the story.
I know
That
it.
final movie makes no sense. Dark Phoenix makes no sense.
Dark Phoenix is awful. I hate that movie.
And
Anyway, I
Apocalypse
didn't
is
think
a
they could
devious
screw up
banana.
Last Stand. You know, I didn't think it's from a. If those of you that don't know, it's a storyline in the comics called the Dark Phoenix Saga, and they've tried to make that into a movie twice now. And the first one was really bad. I mean, as everything, it had good stuff in it. I like the Kitty Pryde character that was in it. You know, by Elliot Page, the artist formerly known as Ellen Page. I thought she was great in it, but most of that movie sucked. It was horrible, and killing off characters that don't need to be killed off,
Sony.
stupid as shit. Yeah, exactly. And then they come out with Dark Phoenix, and I was like, "There's no way they fucked this up worse than they did the first time," and they did. I was like, "What in the hell is going on?" It's one of the greatest comic book stories ever, and they keep blowing it. I
That's
don't.
okay. Marvel
I don't
Comics
get it.
completely ruined the Dark Phoenix saga on its own. So,
Really.
oh yeah,
It felt like a Last Jedi situation with the movies, like one director fighting another.
Yeah, it was horrible. All I know is one of my favorite things that Bryan Singer did, and I do like. I'm one of the guys that says Bryan Singer should be the only one to make a friggin' X-Men movie, because all three of the ones he had his hands in were fantastic, and I really dug how he gave the middle finger to the Last Stand in my favorite X-Men movie, Days of Future Past. There at the end of it, where he brought Scott and Jean back at the end of it. I thought that was great. That was a total middle finger to the guys that made the Last Stand. You know, after he had set up things so well. I mean, I was so excited when I walked out of the theater after seeing X-Men United, which is the second one, right? Which arguably a lot of people called the best one. You know,
Yeah, X2.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you saw that flaming phoenix under the water, it was like, wow, we're gonna get the greatest friggin' X-Men story ever, and they totally screwed the pooch on it. It was just ridiculous, and I couldn't believe they did it twice. I was like, man, guys, come on.
They screwed up my favorite X-Men story with Days of Future Past. So
yeah. Well, you know, Days of Future Past, I enjoyed it. I know it's not comic book accurate at all, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. If anything, I was mad that they didn't show us more of the future. You know what I mean? I wanted to see more of that. So
Admiral Teague throws a penalty flag because it's not clear how many times Patrick Stewart gets killed.
Right?
That bolt is not going anywhere but into his head when we cut away. He's 3.9 deaths in the as Dr. X. I mean, it's just, it has no weight anymore.
Are you a fan?
Then they killed him in Multiverse of Madness too.
Yeah,
right.
they killed him.
I think that's the fourth one.
They love killing Patrick Stewart for some reason.
I'm sorry, were we going to ask me?
No, I was going to ask Knock what if he was into the X-Men movies, what he thought of that stuff.
Days of Future Past was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, it's my favorite too. I love it.
And of course, I was a big fan of the '90s cartoon.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I heard
they brought back.
Yeah, has Disney dropped that already, or
no?
I don't know if they dropped it.
I didn't think so.
It's still
supposed to be coming back. It's called 97, isn't it? I think it's called X-Men 97.
It's like a direct sequel. Yeah, it's a continuation. That's pretty cool.
Let's hope we don't have a Kevin Smith situation with He-Man with that one.
I got a feeling we are, from what I've been hearing about it.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, come on, stick to the characters, man.
It's so sadly predictable now. It's like we could just have a wheel of misfortune with like 4 outcomes, like shelved, endless reshoots, woke movie on way.
It's going to reflect Disney's values, shall we say.
Yeah, Ruben makes a good point here. It was the same writer for both of the fucking Dark Phoenix movies. Both of them.
That's what I was saying that too. That guy is trying to revalidate his other movie with the Days of Future Past cast. And he just won't let it go that Bryan Singer tried to erase his movie. And that's why I say it's very much like Star Wars. You've got these two people who they detest each other's work, and one's erasing the other. But in that franchise, it goes on like 2 more movies worth of spiteful back and forth. It's in your court. It's in my court. No, I say this happened. No, that happened. It's like unreconcilable, except to say 3 timelines was my conclusion.
Well,
the
I tell
last
you,
movie I
man,
gave
we
a
were talking
4
earlier about
out of 10.
AI writing movies and stuff. Man, if you want to watch a good version, my least favorite Star Wars movie is that piece of garbage, Rise of Skywalker. I think the other ones have
I hate
one or
Last
two.
Jedi more. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hear you, but
So do I.
By the time Rise of Skywalker came out, I was laughing because I knew from Star Trek what people were getting, and
Yeah.
that's when I found out that it wasn't the same fans. And
yeah,
I was very shocked that a lot of people didn't love Star Trek the way I love Star Wars from the Star Wars community. And I heard ignorant things like Star Wars was always better and easier to write for, when logically in my mind, I'm like, no, Star Trek is definitely a bigger world and a bigger canvas to paint on.
yeah. But to what I was talking about, I get more enjoyment out of watching Mahler's take on it than even watch the movie. He makes it so damn funny to watch, dude. I highly
I like
recommend.
Mahler a lot, but some of the critics on the panel just annoy me a little. I
No.
needed to listen to that one.
This is dude. This is his long form video version of it called. It's not a panel. It's not a live thing. This is a video he made.
Oh, you talking about the TFA one?
It's called no. It's called Rise of Skywalker and Unbridled Rage. And it's
I
like
saw
2.5
it, yes.
hours long. And it is so awesome, man. It is so damn funny. I love
Yeah,
it.
it is great. He also has that ongoing TFA thing where it's just one installment after another about how terrible and failed it is. And he's only about 40 minutes into the movie, and it's about 8 hours long.
Yeah. Yeah. He makes some long videos. The one he did for Quantumania was like 5 hours long, I think. It was Jesus.
Wow.
I don't know how anybody can.
The guy's a great
I have to
video
watch it in
essayist.
pieces. Yeah, he's fantastic.
He brings the receipts in the sense that he'll make an accusation about the movie's plot, and then he will say, like, how can I say something like this? You say, well, and then he'll throw up on-screen examples of movies where they had done similar things and had more success and made it more real and had more impact. And he's like, I think with The Last Jedi, like one of his examples was like Mr. Waternose's treachery in Monsters Inc. It's like more well done.
Well,
He proves it.
we always end up talking about Star Wars on this channel because Knock there, the guy next to you there, he's a huge fan. He's read everything there is to read about Star Wars. He's played every game and all that stuff. And
I'm going to meet Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson, and Ian McDermott.
Nice. That'll work.
I met Rosario a really long time
but
ago.
he's also critical of Disney Star Wars. Not all of it. I mean, I think you're a fan of the Bad Batch, right? I think you're a fan of that one.
That trailer.
Please don't defend Andor.
Nah, I like
Andor.
And Andor took me about 6 episodes to get into. I was hating it.
I admit
And then they
that
did that
Andor
one
makes sense
episode.
and isn't. Oh, sorry, go
They
ahead.
did the one episode where they showed more of the backdroppings of the Empire, and that's when it got better.
That.
Yep.
I mean, I can forgive Andor to a point, but I think any movie, any TV show, any story that darn slow that takes that long to get good still has to be seen in context of that. It's slow was the new quality. By the mere absence of events and things, there couldn't be mistakes or contradictions.
I don't know. I just got done watching Reacher. I just got done watching Reacher recently, the second season of it, and
I did too.
you don't have to be slow. You can tell a story and have some.
I heard they
fast-paced
failed to
stuff.
stick the landing on the finale, though.
Oh, I dug it. I dug the whole
wasn't
thing.
as big a fan of season 2 as season 1.
No,
it sounds like
season 1
season
was
3 is
better.
going to be closer to season 1.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what they're doing is they're using one book at a time, and they're telling the story in that book. And I hear that
wise.
Warner
It's a
Brothers
smart
project.
strategy.
Yeah, the Warner Brothers. That's what they're planning on doing with the reboot of Harry Potter. They're going to put it on their streaming service, and they're going to do one book a year. with
I'll
Harry
just say it's
Potter.
incredible how short a memory society has now. It's not even living memory; it's living memory of a generation worth of children, and you can just do it again. The number one movie in America is what?
Yeah.
Mean Girls.
Yep.
Sounds familiar. Like
I'm
is
pretty
Lindsay
sure
Lohan
that
the
was
principal?
Lindsay
There's
Lohan
no
before she.
competition, so I mean,
Yeah.
Does she
That's
play one of the
Lohan
teachers?
context right there.
Is Tara Reid in it as one of the teachers? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
where's Heathers? Where's
Right.
the Heathers reboot? Winona
Fuck me
Ryder as
gently
the
with a
guidance
chainsaw.
counselor.
What's that, buddy? What'd you say?
I said, fuck me gently with a chainsaw.
That's
Classic line.
Yeah, it is a classic line. But anyway, okay. Any other thoughts about Miss Millie? I'm just going to say her first name, Millie.
Love her name.
Taking
Love her
on
name.
can't say it again, Mr.
She
Trump. I
won't go
can't
off
say it again.
half cocked. That's all I'm gonna say. She will be
It's
fully
all
cocked when
cocked,
she
damn
goes
it.
off. Alec Baldwin wished he was as well cocked as Millie is. Millie has, she is all cock, and you know what, Millie Alcock. I hope she brings what she can to the role, because it would be wise to use whatever assets the actress has as far as ability, because the last time around when they went with a kind of an upbeat Supergirl who is happy as a default position, was like 51% happy. Like she wasn't like, medicated and happy. She was just like, a normal human being who was a little bit optimistic. It was like believable.
Right.
I really like that. I don't want like with Batwoman, it was like 100% bitch waking up out of bed every day. It's just like not for 1 second was she happy. Batwoman only attacks to kill. It's like Supergirl, like it was like almost completely different. It was just like she was at least 51% positive on humanity. She had some reservations about people, but she wasn't troubled about helping people out. She wasn't a reluctant hero.
Yeah.
Let's keep those aspects.
Yeah. Look, all I know is this: as long as they stick to the character from the comic book, they can't go wrong. And I know nobody wants to see that Flash movie, but I have rewatched the parts with Supergirl in it several times because they actually got that character right. They actually did. So I enjoyed that part of it. Yeah, it's too bad. It really is.
It's really too bad that we've reached this point. But if we rewound time and I could show up at like Joe's Atmosfere's place, for like one of those Dallas Cowboys Super Bowls or something, and be like, I got to tell you something, bro. One day there's going to be so many superhero No, it's not like the Blade movies. I'm telling you, there are going to be so many superhero movies that you're going to dread the next one. And when you hear that your favorite character is going to be made into a movie,
you're going to cringe in fear.
And you're going to start buying up the old stuff to try to remember it, because it's going to be suppressed. And then you're going to listen, here's, I can travel time. I was just in 1936 Germany. I got this armband. You're going to need it. They're going to be calling you it anyway. Put this armband on, okay?
Right. Yep. Yeah.
It's messed up. You want to get a game, you want to put like sniper in front of your username for any future media too. All right.
Right.
Go.
But you know what? The pendulum swinging. We've got a few things that, I mean, you mentioned one of them earlier, Yellowstone. Everybody digs that show and the spinoffs they made of it. So, I mean, I've never watched it. It's one of the things that me and Rhonda have talked about. I mean, it's got a little bit of a cowboy feel to it, and she's not really into that. I'm going to have to watch it on my own, away from her.
1923 is the one I've seen. I split the difference. I figured, let's go with Harrison Ford.
Instead of the 18 one.
Yeah.
You know what?
If you like Sons of Anarchy, you'll like that
Kevin
show.
Costner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly care for Kevin Costner. I never thought that he was a compelling actor. Like, it was like, you want to see this movie? It's pretty cool. It's called whatever. It's got Kevin Costner. I'm like, well, it sounds all right. He won't kill the movie. That was like all I could ever expect from him, was that he wouldn't destroy a movie.
Yeah.
But like Harrison Ford's been good. I was surprised to see in 1923. So I'll just speak to that one quickly. A performance better than anything we've seen from Harrison Ford this century, far superior to his pathetic portrayal of Han Solo, his pathetic portrayal of Indiana Jones in the 21st century, far superior to anything we've seen since perhaps Air Force One, or maybe Air Force One or The Fugitive.
Yeah, I'll have to
It's
check.
been a while since Harrison was this good.
I fully plan on watching the stuff because everybody tells me that all the stuff that he's been doing is really, really good, like the Mayor of Kingstown.
Lioness Spec
Tulsa
Ops
King
is bad. Spec Ops Lioness didn't work out. Skip that one.
Yeah. I heard he was
terrible,
on that in just name only, though. I don't think
he was just
It
a
sounds
producer.
right.
he's
He
like a
wasn't a
producer
writer
or
or
something.
anything.
Yeah.
The stuff he writes, the stuff that he is directly involved with, is good.
Yeah.
And
Best
I watched.
Reeves
I'll be
good,
honest.
so.
I watched 1923 because of Helen Mirren. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was very good in that, although she also The weird thing about this with streaming stuff and other things, Helen Mirren's accent drifts through episodes 1 and 2 and there's an excuse built into the show where she says she was born one place in Europe, moves another place in Europe, and then she comes here, and everyone's like confused by her accent because she's supposed to be Irish, but she still just pretty much sounds the same. She's doing something of a voice, but she goes on an accent journey in episodes 1 and 2. And it's really the Africa storyline and the World War I storyline that moves the story forward. But in our final episode of that, without spoiling anything, I think Josh Wolfman will probably agree with me. That fight on the ship, that was a fight where every move on the fight showed you something about both characters.
Yeah.
It was a fight that told us a story.
Yeah.
From someone trying to brandish a sword to some particularly, American bravado, old world versus new. Am I right? A storytelling fight that was also a good fight.
Well,
Yeah,
they could do a spin-off. They could do a spin-off of that character and his girl and his wife.
Well, that tells me it's good writing right there. If you're talking about doing a spin-off of characters, then he obviously knows how to develop a character. If you're intrigued by it,
I think the spin-off will become
Taylor
the
Sheridan
spin-off is just going to be 1924. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taylor
unite
Sheridan,
these people.
Taylor Sheridan can write a master class on how to do characters.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's
Bass
pretty
Reeves
cool.
was good as well.
And I'll tell you
that show
somebody
was
else.
also
I
good.
don't know who wrote Top Gun Maverick, but that guy did a phenomenal job of writing a sequel that nobody freaking wanted. You know what I mean? No,
Well,
I
Tom
wasn't
Cruise wanted
waiting
it.
with bated breath for a sequel to Top Gun. But boy, I went to the theaters and was blown away when I saw it, man. It was fantastic, the job he did on it, man.
Well, whoever wrote it, I'm sure Tom was sitting over his shoulder.
Right?
There are 5 writers of Top Gun Maverick.
Really?
I'm sure 1 is characters from movie 1, so we can just throw that out. So 4. Well, I mean, honestly, like
Let's
somebody
see real
created some
quick.
good
Hang on.
characters. They deserved it. Yeah, it was like a bunch of names. I asked my popular assistant from a company named after a big river.
Let's see.
If I say the name, I'll set people's off. I don't want to
No,
be a
it's
jerk
fine.
like
It's
that.
fine.
You won't set mine off because I disable them.
There you go. Let's see. Who is it?
I find them invaluable.
The writers are Jim Cash, Jack Epps Jr., and Peter Craig. That's the 3 names we got here.
I
One of
think I
those has gotta
got
be a
someone
synonym.
for characters was named probably.
Holy
by
shit!
my-
Wait a minute.
Yep. here we
Let's
go.
extend that to
Drop
about
down menu,
8 names. Holy shit!
including a guy who made the wild
Okay,
card. in
wait,
there at the bottom.
wait. Based on characters created by Cash and Epps, story by Peter Craig and Justin Marks, and then the screenplay was done by Aaron Kruger, Eric Warren Singer, and Christopher McQuarrie. So yeah, there's 5 people that had something to do with that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's a little
absolutely correct.
crazy, but
I just wanted to make sure I was getting
for
it all
once,
out there.
it seems everybody took everyone else's phone calls and talked about what needed to be done to make the best possible movie there. And after you've seen it a couple of times, the rewatchability is in testing the does he die in the beginning theory. Is it a journey of a ghost? And I
Right.
find it doesn't hurt the movie to look at it that way. It doesn't hurt it. It's an
No.
enjoyable thought and theory.
Top Gun: A New Hope. I love it. Let's extend that. That is what she said. Joe.
It should be called Star Wars Danger Zone. Would be a better movie, right? I would see that.
Well, that would have been a cool title for it. But the Maverick thing, I mean, that's a good one too. But I just thought that them taking a throwaway line in the first movie and turning it into the love interest character in this one was just. It was so awesome, man. For fans of the first movie, it was something else. It was really cool.
Well, that's how you branch a story. You take something from the original, make sure you build around it. Not, we're going to throw this whole new character we've never heard of at you.
Right.
And don't subvert anything. At this point, like, for instance, were there a Superman movie to come out where he saves people, is cool, friendly, approachable, and thinks of himself as one of us with extra powers? We'd be blown away because that's the Superman we'd expect. And that would subvert our expectations because we're not expecting to get that anytime soon.
People that are Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I'm not sure that James Gunn can write Superman just like Zach couldn't write Superman.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. we'll see. I mean,
I fear he's right.
Guardians of the Galaxy was not a popular comic book, when it came out, and hell, I didn't even know it existed until I saw the movie, and he took those characters and ran with them. But that's the kind of edgy kind of stuff he likes to do.
Yeah,
this is my hope. Okay. I'm not saying this is for a fact. I'm saying this is my hope that he now has the reins of a franchise that he digs, and that he will apply the correct muscles to it, if you understand what I'm saying. Rein himself in on some of the fucking outlandish crazy shit.
Wow.
What was that?
I think we already know what muscle he's going to be using for this.
Yeah, he said he had to use the right muscle.
Well, Superman only works if he's written as a Boy Scout. That's the only way Superman works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's any other character in DC to write for.
Yep. Any other interpretation of Superman fails.
Yeah.
Even Red Sun is still a Boy Scout. He's just a Boy Scout.
He's just a communist Boy Scout. Yeah.
I freaking hate Snyder Man. I freaking hate Snyder Man smugly watching people struggle and get deleted by nature or what bad guys. It's like presumed he saves people. I propose that Zack Snyder was trying to put in some kind of weird political message with that. Like, his other thing is that he's always talking uninformedly about Ayn Rand. I think he just didn't like showing people being saved. He's so weird. It didn't work in that movie.
Yeah. Look, I like Man of Steel. I don't think it's the greatest Superman movie ever. I think the greatest Superman movie ever is Superman 2 with Christopher Reeve.
Oh, yeah.
That is the best Superman movie ever. But
Kneel before Zod,
baby. Friggin' Gene Hackman steals every scene he's in, and that's a great movie. But I don't hate Zack Snyder's. I don't hate Zack Snyder's vision. He wanted to go in a darker way, and that's great. But it's hard to agree with him killing somebody. And
I hated his logic.
Yeah.
I hated the fact that aside from that first Superman movie where he was constrained in Man of Steel, and it still has problems, but aside from that movie, like Zack Snyder has to like meander for 4 freaking hours and give us like 38 minutes of slow-mo and fights. It's maddening. And like BVS, the plot kicks in with 40 minutes left in this 2 and like however long that director's cut is.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the first half of the movie is just circling and nothing really happening. And I hate that movie.
Well,
it's the coolest looking Batman, but it's the coolest looking Batman.
Something happened with Zack Snyder. Like, you can't really fault him all that much. His kid died.
Yeah,
and
no, this is way before that though. This is several years later. That's Justice League. Let's just talk about Perry White. Okay. Perry White that we knew.
Perry White. Lawrence Fishburne did an excellent job as Perry White.
He did.
I don't want to hear it.
His acting was fine. The problem was that the character didn't make sense because of things we saw in the movie. Here's the reason why, even though it was well acted, I don't buy what Perry White says. I think that there's a bat vigilante down by the river. There ain't no bat vigilante, and I don't know what you're talking about. Perry, have you ever walked down by the river where you can see Gotham from your own city, where we can see Ajax Chemical and read the name? You've never seen that bat that the Gotham police project on the clouds at night sometimes? Or watch TV from Gotham when Gotham plays, Metropolis.
I didn't realize that New York and Chicago were separated by a river.
Well, in his world, they're really close. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. Go ahead, John.
This is before they were doing the bat signal.
That can't be because they use it in the movie, and he says he's at it 20 years, though. There's some contradictory dialogue in there. He says at 20 years. He's like, you can retire.
Okay. You have to take Man of Steel separate from BVS, because when they did Man of Steel, they weren't doing Batman. Batman was going to be younger. That was the original plan.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But
you've got to take it. You've got to take
we revisit
it. You got to take it from that perspective that they weren't going to do a year a year 30 Batman or a year 20 Batman. They were going to do a year 1 Batman.
And
that
they changed
was that was the original. And the thing was, this was all Warner Brothers. What we got in BVS was because of the Warner Brother executives, because they said put Batman in it. It was supposed to be Man of Steel 2.
Yeah.
It was not supposed to involve Batman whatsoever.
Yep, that's true.
So when they said put Batman in it,
they were trying to catch up to Marvel, is what they were doing.
They were trying to catch up to Marvel, and they said, well, what's the biggest...
All right, don't talk over each other. John, finish.
They said, what's the biggest Batman story that people like? The Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns, yeah.
That's what they did. Mm-hmm. And that's why we got an older, grizzled Batman, rather than a younger Batman that was the original plan.
Go ahead, Kevin. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that if you do your research, you'll find that BVS is actually nothing more than the modern day take on what they wanted to do back in the 80s and the 90s by doing a Batman Superman movie then. It's the same executives doing the same thing over and over again, trying to see what's going to stick at the wall because they want to make a movie that they envision is going to make $1 million versus what the fans actually want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how you throw $1 million out there like Dr.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
$1 million.
But Zeke, what was your point, buddy? Go ahead.
I got a couple of points. And I understand like people really did enjoy this movie. I'm not trying to really say anyone is wrong for enjoying them, but
that's something we don't do on this channel for sure.
It's fun to
people.
I do think
that's cool. No,
unless it's the Jets. You don't like
unless
the Jets.
it's the Jets, then you're a jihadist. Okay, that's just all there is to it.
I'm hoping for my friends that his team wins the Super Bowl. I'll be happy for them.
Let's just say the Jets got the quarterback they deserve.
Why they wouldn't take insurance out on him, I don't even know.
Versus Superman.
Okay, listen. Here's like things that have nothing to do with any of that I'll put out legitimate criticisms. Joel Schumacher did a better job of showing us what Metropolis versus Gotham looked like, because when he drives from one city to the other, there's no telling. It seems like he just starts out at one point in Metropolis and ends up at another point in Metropolis, which is the world's biggest magnet for space garbage. Everything to ever fall from space has hit Metropolis or Smallville or somewhere in between. Perry White does not believe that there are bat vigilantes. Now, he's active in Gotham for 20 years. The cops know who he is. They say that in the movie. He's never turned on like the Gotham channel in his job as a news guy. You know what I mean? Like in the Snyder world. And in every iteration of Snyderverse, as we go forward, even in Zack's movies, whenever we see Superman, he's super Hilter. When Lois Lane dies, he blames all of us and just blows away most of humanity and starts the nightmare world war that we see in so many of those dream sequences where Jared Leto has that great dialogue.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't consider that great dialogue. That was...
I'm being facetious.
That was hot garbage. Second of all,
it's disservice to the actor too.
You're still not taking, what I said.
I have a hard time taking it into account because they did have time to plan. He's supposed to be a professional writer, and it's not like they gave him a bad guy. Like, I like Batfleck and think that that's one of the strengths of his whole universe is that Ben Affleck's Batman is pretty good, and he's a good Bruce Wayne. And I feel like here's this guy trying that I really like, who should probably have some executive producer creds because he probably has a better idea of what Batman would say than Snyder does.
Well, and you can blame that all on the executives. That's where all that lands on. Snyder.
Then how come people hate Rebel Moon?
I don't know. I haven't had time to watch it yet because
really you haven't seen it yet.
No,
I've seen it.
I will say this: the Rebel Moon, whatever else you think about it, it seems to have done wonders for my problems with people who like Zack Snyder. There's not that many left anymore bothering me. He seems to blow up some of his own fans every time he makes a movie. It's like he erases a little more of his own legends. Like, but Watchmen was good. And you look at your own Watchmen and you're like, that was like 16, 17 years ago, man. What's he done?
Watchmen up until the very end. And I understand why they had to change it. Is probably the most comic accurate movie they've ever made.
Yeah.
Because They even did the comic book scenes that take place between the acts of the comic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the Ultimate Cut. Yeah.
Yep.
I was watching TV with my wife earlier today, getting ready for the show. I do a lot of this stuff on my phone, and she got off work early today. And what she's been watching when she's got control of the TV and I'm doing something else is she's watching Grey's Anatomy. She started it again from the beginning. She used to be a nurse. She's big into it. She loves it.
Yeah.
And I forgot that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was on that show, right? And we're watching some of the stuff where he's playing the ghost of himself with the blonde. I can't remember her name, but she's the one that didn't have a career in Hollywood because she was such a big yeah, that's her. Yeah. Anyway,
very beautiful, very
beautiful, but apparently a pain in the ass to deal with. But
that's what they say.
This is the deal. We were talking about Jeffrey Dean Morgan because Rhonda is a huge. If you haven't seen it, I'll show it to you sometime. Teague, my wife has a huge shrine to The Walking Dead over her crafting table right next to me. Okay, she's met so many of them, it's not even funny. She's got their signatures on the wall and everything. And I told her, I said, I know you love him as Negan, but he'll always be the comedian to me. He will always be the comedian to me. I dug him in that fucking movie. I thought he was great,
He's
and
such a versatile actor.
That's the kind of thing that I will say this about Zack Snyder. Not all of his movies are great. He started off strong. His remake of it was Dawn of the Dead, right? He remade Dawn of the Dead. His remake of that was fantastic. But as time goes on, Rebel Moon, that movie could have been an hour and a half long if he'd have cut out.
The 5-hour version's coming and it's going to be great. Did you hear?
What's that? I'm sorry.
The 5-hour version's coming and it's going to be great.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Blew my mind. Oh my God. What is wrong with this guy?
How much more slow-mo can you put in a movie, man? It's freaking crazy.
I don't know. Have you seen Sucker Punch?
Yeah, I've seen Sucker Punch. There's a lot in that one too. Yeah. I'm one of the few people that actually enjoyed that movie, but
I did too. But
I'm not defending Zack Snyder because I don't think he's that good of a filmmaker. I'm just saying that Watchmen, up until that point, was the most accurate.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the heck out of Watchmen. I still watch it to this day, and it does not become dated, boys and girls. It is still a good movie. It is really, really good. I enjoy it. I love the thing I loved about it the most was fucking Rorschach. They knocked that out of the park, man.
Well, once again, it's the actor rather than just the writing.
Right. Who'd have thought this guy, because I hadn't seen him in anything except for, what was the name of that movie with
Bad News Bears?
I remember the Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about oh God, what the hell is the name of that movie? Will Ferrell in I think it's Superstar. Is that the name of it? The
basketball movie.
The basketball movie. It's not Superstar. No. It's I can't remember the fucking name of the movie, but anyway, he wins the contest that they're having. Right? He's the guy with no shirt on with the poster and everything. That's the only thing I'd seen him in since the Bad News Bears, and then all of a sudden he's in that movie. And he ended up playing Freddy Krueger in the remake of that thing. And, it kind of rejuvenated his career for about 15 minutes there.
The movie was called Semi-Pro.
What's this? I like the panelist with the Broncos logo. I dig it, man or gal. Yeah, he hasn't said much yet because we haven't gotten into the video game part of things.
You guys are on a topic that I know nothing about. I have nothing to do.
It's okay, though. But, yeah, man, Zack Snyder, he always gets an argument going. That's for sure. You can give him this. He definitely likes to stir it up. That's for sure. Semi-Pros. That's it. Clay Thomas. Semi-Pro actually is the name of the movie. Semi-Pro.
It was already said. You just weren't paying attention.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks,
well,
man.
let's get to The other
That's
thing,
just-
oh, go ahead. What, John?
That's because Joe's busy riding herd on this 3-ring circus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dude, do you not see? It says herder of cats. I don't lie when I write my little things down here. I knew it was going to be like this. I always know it's going to be like this. But anyway, but yeah, I am hoping against hope that this James Gunn movie is good, and his use of Supergirl, I hope it's good. And I do like the actress that they have play her. She's got the look. I hope she has the acting chops, according to my House of the Dragon fan friends. They say that she does, so I will trust them in that assertion, and I will go forward thinking, yes, let's make it so. Number one. Okay,
We'll
so
we'll answer that age-old question: is James Gunn going to be good with the bigger superheroes, or is it the reason he had success because they were always smaller, and if he made little mistakes, people were willing to be more forgiving? We're
right.
gonna find out.
Yeah, we're going to find
think
out
the
because
real-
look, boys and girls, I'll let you speak in just a second, Kevin. It all hinges on this, because if he doesn't knock this out of the park, all the plans he's got after this will fall apart. You know what I mean?
Better get it
That's what I
right
was
because
gonna
I
say.
want my Booster Gold series.
Right?
Let's be
Yeah.
honest. He could
Well,
hit
I
it
was
out
gonna
of the
s-
park and still not get anything else because of the financial conditions.
Well,
of the
the
company.
financial
Sorry.
thing, yeah. But
Go
go
right
ahead,
ahead.
Kevin. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say we'll see how well he does by the time Swamp Thing rolls around.
Yeah.
If he makes it to Swamp Thing,
Mhm.
then you know it's going to be a success. If he gets to Swamp Thing and he's barely crawling and Swamp Thing doesn't knock it out of the park, nothing will.
I really would like. Yeah, see, it's funny you bring up Swamp Thing because I would really like to see a Justice League Dark movie. I think that would be badass. I'd love to see Zatanna and Deadman and all that stuff, man. That would be fantastic. It really
and
would.
not one envisioned by J.J. Abrams.
Yes,
Right.
please no, please no, no, none of that.
No, please no. Yeah, exactly. J.J. Abrams. Think
I've
about
had
this
enough
by
of
his own-
mystery boxes, just like I've
But
had
you-
enough of Zack Snyder and his slow mo. Damn it!
You know
But I
what?
will say
The
this in
mystery
defense of
box-
Zack Snyder, boys and girls. I challenge anyone to find a better Batman fight scene than the one when he goes after Superman's mother in Dawn of Justice. There is not a better one out there.
Martha!
It's good. I'm not saying the premise is
Got a
great.
cloud
I'm just
hanging
saying
over it.
the fight scene is badass.
Just
okay?
play
I'm
the
thinking
Arkham
Batman
games.
and Robin
You'll see the
versus
same
Mr.
fight
Freeze.
scene.
I'm talking about in a movie, Das Wolfen. Okay, not
Batman
talking
and
about in a
Robin versus Mr.
cartoon
Freeze.
or a video
After they ice
game.
skate, after they've done ice skating and they use the Bat card when they fight Mr. Freeze, I'm going to say that fight's better. just to play spoiler. here.
Or better yet, the what were they? The snowboards out of the plane at the beginning of the film.
Oh God, man, no, please.
Why didn't
You're
they just?
killing me.
Did they throw Adam West Batman into Flashpoint too? Like, how far did they take it?
Was he in there? I don't think they
Did
might
they
have
throw
had him in
1943
Yeah, there was.
there.
Government
Was Adam West's Batman was in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was.
He has
yeah.
to be right.
What it was is
Part of it.
they were seeing all these different versions of the multiverse, and all the different multiverses. It was really, but the CGI was so bad. To Kevin's point earlier, yeah, if you're gonna have Christopher Reeve in a movie, have him flying first of all, and have him, look a lot better than he did, because wow, the CGI was bad.
Something.
You could tell they had washed their hands of it, and they weren't going to spend any more money on it because it really looked like total trash.
It's accidentally offensive. We rendered him falling off a horse. Just go with it.
Teague pulls no punches.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
He's my Superman too, R.I.P. But I mean, yeah, they brought the guy back in voodoo fashion in a performance that people found archival video where he himself said, "Please don't ever do anything like this with my memory." He did. They found it. He was like, "No, please just don't do anything crazy with my memory."
Hey, man, Christopher Reeves will always be Superman, and he was the best.
Always be our
Always
Superman,
be
and he'll always be the best one, and he'll always be the one who tried the hardest to be a good Superman.
Yes.
He fought to be a
He
good
sure
Superman
did.
and stood up
He
for the
absolutely
movies.
did.
Yep.
He wasn't much when he called out Marlon Brando rightly for not doing a great job.
All right, boys and
Are we
girls,
ever gonna
it
finish
is
this
time. I have to cut this off. It is time to get to the video games because I want to finish this today. Damn it. I want to be done with this today. It is time to get into video games. Let's see. First of all, they put out a new what is State of Play? Sony did today. They premiered it, and they talked about a bunch of stuff. PlayStation 2024 State of Play. You had Death Stranding 2's trailer come out. I'm not going to watch that because, guys, if you've played this game, it is about boring. This is a very niche game, I would say. I know, Knock, what'd you play at 10 minutes and you were done with it?
I wouldn't say it's niche. This is a hugely popular game.
Yeah.
It's just not my style.
Yeah.
They're basically playing Kevin Costner and Postman.
Yeah.
You're a post-apocalyptic UPS guy. That's what you are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's exactly right. Absolutely.
It looks like in this new one, you're just doing it in other places and with cool rides.
Yeah. Right. Cooler stuff to play with. But then they got this movie coming out of Until Dawn. They were talking about that. And then they also had Team Ninja's new stuff.
A remake. It was a remake.
Yeah,
as well.
They're remaking it, but they're also making a movie right now of that one. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they're making a movie of Until Dawn. And they got to look at Team Ninja's latest, which is Rise of the Ronin, which that ought to be fun. I think, when is this? Comes out March 22nd.
Yeah.
So that ought to be cool. I really don't care about VR stuff. Do you guys? I mean,
don't either, but
no.
I like the world building that goes on in the Metro series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that whole universe that they've built.
Well, they have a new VR component called Awakening coming out. So look forward to that. And here comes Judas. This one, it says we've all been, it's been well over a year since Kevin Levine's Ghost Story studio revealed its first project, a narrative shooter called Judas. So it's about time we got a new trailer, and you guys can go to State of Play and check it out. This is going to be a new shooter game, apparently. And then we've got Sonic and Shadow Generations coming out. They've got another Sonic one. I've heard of this, but I don't even know what it is. Dave the Diver is
talk about niche. That's
really.
It's a real niche thing.
Yeah,
streamers love it.
Okay, all right, and then we've got Helldivers 2 coming up. The rest of it's about Death Stranding 2 and everything. But they got a couple sequels coming out. Of course, what's the one we talked about last week? Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
That thing bombed.
Did it? It's already out?
No, it's not out yet.
Doomcock absolutely was incensed, but I guess that's the most likely outcome of the game. You got like the optimal outcome ending is pretty dark.
Yeah.
There was
cool.
Hang on, guys. Hang on.
Okay. All right.
There was a paid early release, and it got fucked because the game. People were starting into the game, and it basically put them in the game already ended, and they had all the good gear. So they had to shut down the servers to fix that in the first hour the game was released for early access. It was paid early access, and it failed.
Wow.
Wow.
That's not good for them. Well, you guys predicted it. You said it was going to bomb. You said that.
All I know is they crap all over Kevin Conroy's performance.
Yeah, I saw something about that today.
Fortunately, it's not going to be his last one because he has 2 projects that were going to come out, including part 3 of Price on Infinite Earth that he's done voiceover for. So,
what were you going to say, Knock? I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say that if there's any fans of Stroud out there, he played it for 10 hours straight. So I don't know.
Okay.
But eventually did get back up. Just putting that out there.
Well, we got.
But he also got paid.
Now, you told me about this one before we came up. Yeah, you guys predicted that this was. That's really a bad fail on the early access, though. Knock.
Especially when you pay for it. Yeah.
Wow, that's bad. That's really bad.
This is what happens when we don't play test games anymore.
Yeah.
It seems so foreseeable though. It's like you're setting yourself up for failure and you're putting out this early, like, sad trumpet noise as your heralding music for the release of your game is something that's never going to really work out.
The only company that can do that's Bethesda.
Hang on.
Right.
The biggest difference is, all right, because early access, it's a very broad term, because you're talking early access for this is Warner Bros., right? This is their IP. This is a multi-million-dollar studio that's early access that crashed. And then you got Palworld, who's made up by some Japanese teenagers.
Oh my God.
That is early access as well. So, and you pay for that too. Not as much. You don't pay $70.
No,
unlike the triple.
They only charge $30, but my God, wow!
Yeah,
have you heard about that one, Teague? My gosh, man!
No, so what did
6 days on Steam?
Right.
It's called Palworld, and what it is, it's a survival game. And we highlighted it last week, and John's going to play it at 8:00 tonight if you want to see some gameplay of it. It's a survival game, kind of like Ark, right? Knock,
yeah,
isn't that what you described it as? But it's the pals
are
basically Pokemon. What? Are you playing it right now?
Of course,
this goon is playing Palworld right now. Put it up here, dude.
I only found out what Kingdom Hearts was yesterday, so this is all new to me.
Okay, it's Pokemon with guns, brother. Basically, is what it is. Okay, is this you, Knock? Okay, all right. There you go. This is his guy, and everybody he collects are pals. They're Pokemon, basically, but they're not exactly like the Pokemon characters that exist, and. Dude, there's rumors that Nintendo's going to try and sue them over this game because I don't think it's going to happen either.
Well,
but they basically hang on. Let me finish this so I can tell my man what's going on, and then you can talk about it. 6 days on Steam, $30 a pop, sold 8 million copies. Teague, this game did.
Wow.
Everybody's playing it. It's ridiculous. It's the new crack. It's the new Fortnite. It's ridiculous. Go ahead, John. What were you going to say?
Supposedly, now I don't know how, this is what they're saying, that they found a Mewtwo ripoff that looks almost exactly like Mewtwo, but different colors in the game files.
Okay.
So
is it just showing the menu for you guys?
Yeah, that's all we're seeing is the menu.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not even. Hang on, it's not doing it properly.
Okay.
Let me try something else.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and throw this one up.
I was moving around and everything.
It's fine. Palworld's mods, Electric Yellow Rat tests the limits of Nintendo's legal reach. YouTuber Toasted Shoes and his Pokemon mod of Palworld taken down. Now he's back with a new mod with illegal distinct creatures for as long as it lasts. Now the one he's talking about here, the Pokemon mod of Palworld taken down. Tell me about that one, Knock. You were telling us about
it was a straight up Pokemon mod, and it was taken down within a few hours. Yeah, and then the videos were taken down too on YouTube. So that's why the whole Nintendo's going to sue. They would have already shut this thing down forever.
Yeah.
This would not. Why would you let a game like this become? And obviously, nobody knew it was going to be like this. But you don't even give a chance to a game becoming a 8 million copies sold in a week,
right?
Kind of thing. And to say that Nintendo, that Game Freak and Nintendo didn't know about this game, bitch, they were probably in the meeting listening in. They knew about this game. This isn't a surprise to them. So, people going and saying, "Hey, Nintendo, do you know about this?" Yeah, they knew about it. They very much knew about it. And there's even things where, out there about, Pokemon being based off of some stuff similar to creatures in Dragon Quest, which is an even older franchise.
They've faced their own problems with
that's why they can't do anything about this.
Well, and the whole concept of the Pocket Monster, I think Digimon was actually before.
I think you're right.
Pokemon.
It was certainly close. I don't remember myself, but yeah, it was certainly close.
If I remember right, Digimon came out before Pokemon by just a few months. And it's just
they were both big at the beginning. I do remember that. Yeah. Okay, he's up and running now. Hang on. There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, for some reason it wasn't sharing properly. It was only showing my menu. But, yeah, so this is my base right here. These are my different pals. They're called pals. Palworld Pals.
I love that one with the friggin' tri-cornered hat, bro. I love him.
Yeah,
He's
that's
awesome.
That's
Did you call that one Pry?
Yeah, that's right. You need
I
to call it
should.
Pry,
I
bro.
can change the name. It can be changed. So I could if I wanted to.
He belongs on the sidelines of a Patriots
get
game.
different.
That's right. He does.
Yeah, right. You can do different ones. Of course, you can have some that fly. You can ride. You can build saddles. You can ride them. They all have different jobs. As you can see, they're actually working right now. So this is my stone pit right here. They come over and they break stone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's
yeah. I see the
this
pitchfork in his hand.
wood, yeah, this one's a wood guy. So anytime I put my the ones that I'm carrying out, he'll come right over here and just start hacking at trees, and that's materials there. Here's a little fridge right here. So if I had I just got a freezing Pokemon. So let me check them out here. So this is your little hub here. You have all the different little little pals. Looking for one little cute guy in particular. Actually, I got a big version of, but here's a little guy. And when you drop them down, they just pop up right behind you. You can pick them up. And I want you to work on this thing right there.
And the way you collect these guys is you go and you punch them in the face, Teague.
Let's see. There you go. There was no food in there, so he wasn't going to. So that's his job. That's his existence right there. That is his existence.
Just to keep everyone apprised, on my channel, there's a poll: who will win the Super Bowl? 53% of people on my channel think that the 49ers will win. 37% think the Chiefs will win, and 11% took the option of somehow the Patriots will win anyway.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna leave that up there for a few more minutes.
Go for it, man! Everybody, go check out his channel and check out the poll. I think your 53% are completely wrong. I think the champs are going to do it again, but that's just me. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for that, Knock.
Friends, I'll be really my favorite one so far.
Yeah, this is your guy.
I'll be watching the real Super
right?
Bowl.
Yeah.
The real Super Bowl is actually this coming weekend on the Bilderberg Group Network. I have access to that. Most of you do not. I'll be seeing the real game.
Bilderberg. Is that this weekend?
That's right. Big Giant Al Super Bowl. Another one. I think this will be the 5th straight year the Jets will have gone undefeated and won the Super Bowl. But I see the real games, the actual Super Bowl games. You guys will be watching a simulation where I believe the Chiefs are slated.
We're going to be watching the Super Bowl in the Matrix. You're actually watching the real one in the real world, right?
That's right. You guys you took the other pill.
Look at Clay Thomas. I've got a pocket monster too. Want to see it?
There's
not green pill.
Any universe the current generation of Jets will ever be any good.
Okay.
I always say this. What does a Jets fan do when his team wins the Super Bowl? Turns off his Xbox. It's never gonna happen. I am they have really reduced me to a place, honestly, where the thing I'm rooting for the hardest is they're like, from here on in, we're going to play in London because Woody Johnson spent a bunch of money on all the NFL rights in Europe. They're playing half their home games in Europe next year, and if you only play 5 games in New York. What happens when they roll out we used to jokingly call them New Jersey Hessians, and now they are.
Now they're going to be
their
right?
red London uniforms. It's like, give me a break. Give me a break. How many uniforms we have?
This is a family show. Wait until Joe's gaming stream. Yeah, it gets a little outrageous sometimes. It does.
I've been really good with the profanity, especially considering we've covered 2 things that make me insane. Perry White, who never walked down by the river and saw the bat signal or watched TV from Gotham or never went to Gotham to see. I never went over to Gotham to see the Metropolis team play as a young, enterprising sports editor. Because I'm assuming he had nothing to do with news. Because they're like, Lois Lane's like, I've seen aliens. He's like, no. What? He's hostile towards the concept of news. I'm not saying that Lawrence Fishburne was bad. He was excellent. It's just that
he's always excellent. The writing was bad. I got you.
In the Snyderverse, people's traits don't match their jobs ever. Superman.
All right, Teague, let's get back to the game.
Yeah, let's
get back to video games. We've got something we got to finish here, bro. I've got to.
Don't you derail my games. I've been waiting 6 months for this to finish.
We've been waiting a while for this. We got to do it. Okay, we're at number 11, boys and girls. Super Mario Brothers 3. Now, this is IGN's top 100, boys and girls. And we started this, Knock? Almost a year ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
A long journey.
Super Mario 3. What system was this on?
That was Super Nintendo.
Was it Super Nintendo? Okay.
Super Nintendo was Mario World.
Oh yeah,
3 was
Super
a
Mario
regular
Brothers 3
8-bit.
was
8-bit.
NES. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Nintendo.
I was
Wait,
thinking
what?
Super
Oh, was
Mario.
oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, man. Back in 1990, it says.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Oh,
Used to
crazy.
play this
God.
game up in the attic of the church that my parents worked at.
Really? Wow. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I never owned. Well, I think I did own an NES, but I didn't get into Mario. I really didn't. The only thing I played on the NES was Duck Hunt. I used to play that all the damn time, with the gun and everything. But
Yeah.
I was more into the Genesis. I like that console a lot more. I like the games they had for that one a lot more.
Well, I mean, back then you were in your early 50s, so that's understandable.
Yeah, it's understandable. Yeah,
yeah.
Methuselah's got to get something. All right, the next one, Disco Elysium. What in the hell is that? I've never heard of this game.
That's a cyberpunk-esque story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a noir kind of. It's really narrative driven. I've played a little bit of it. It's enjoyable. You're going around solving murders.
Okay. Disco Elysium. What year is this?
I guess it was about 6 years ago.
Really? It's not too long ago.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I never got into that.
Really? I've
Such a
never heard of this
name.
one.
I've heard of it, but I never got into it.
Let's see what we find on the IMDb page for it. Let's see. It says 2019.
Is
that the game or?
Yeah,
it's a video game. That's it. No, this is it.
Top down.
Okay, so 5 years ago.
I hate top downs.
Yeah, it's isometric. It looks pretty though.
Not a fan of those.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. So, boys and girls, check that one out. Yeah, look, it's kind of artsy. That's gameplay there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's the new like look of top downs these days.
Yeah, isometric. Yeah, that's.
I gotta say that is appealing.
Yeah, I mean, well, Borderlands was the first one really to do something like that, huh? To do the kind of artsy graphics to it. Am I wrong there?
Only advanced as far as Star Castle in my knowledge of video games.
Now, before we go any further, I do want to highlight this one that Nock told me about. Enshrouded. Let's see. Players awake as the Flameborn and the lost hope of the ancient civilization set against them in the shroud. What is this about there, Noxter? What?
So any game that I would compare is closer, kind of like Valheim, if anyone's played that. But yeah, it's like you could be it shows on the screen there. You could be a wizard. You can create a staff and wizard. It's an open world survival game. Okay. Came out a couple of days after Palworld. It's also early access, same exact price as Palworld, and it's got about over 1 million folks on it. Pretty right off the bat.
Wow.
Anyone that wasn't really into Palworld has gone to this game. So
okay.
But yeah, the Enshrouded is basically the area pockets of just like a cloud that you can't live in, or it kills you over time.
Yeah.
Unless you're blessed for like 5 minutes or something like that. I'm not totally into the game yet. I played a couple hours of it, but I wanted to get back to Palworld before going fully into this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mine everything. You can make little hobbit holes. You can make, you can dig into the earth kind of thing. You go exploring, find different tech. You find other people. You're like part of a prophecy or something like that, or the survivor group.
His main point to me, whenever we were talking before the show, was Palworld wasn't the only one that blew up in the last.
Yeah, this is number 2 on the sailing right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely and my whole point was these early access games, like these are small companies doing these games. These are not triple, and yet they're blowing them out of the water.
I would think. My God.
Yeah, they're blowing these AAA titles out of the water because all these AAAs are just generic copies of each other. Like there was nothing in Suicide Squad that made me think this is a different game from anything else that I'd want to play. When I watched like a few minutes of Stroud play, like cool, another battle arena game, sweet.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah. Low spec. The Shadowrun games by Hairbrain Schemes was really well done.
Yeah. Okay.
All three of them.
All right, let's get back to the list. So check out Disco Elysium if you're looking something to check out. Let's see. Next one is Half-Life 2. And I've never played the Half-Life series. Don't even know what this is about.
The very last Half-Life that's
cult.
ever going to be made.
Yeah, it's a huge cult following for this game. If it ever did come out with an Half-Life 3, people would cream.
Yep.
The people that love this series, they would go nuts.
It says it's a first-person shooter, so automatically I'm out. But
this is something where they have they mess with like portals and shit, and aliens invade and kind of take over the world.
Okay, all right, sounds.
Have you heard of a head crab?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what head crabs are from.
Yeah,
this game.
Okay. I always thought they came from the movie Alien. I don't know.
Well, they're inspired by Alien, but
yeah,
the actual head crab came from the Half-Life games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it wasn't a first-person shooter, I'd probably check it out, man. You know, yeah.
Radioactive is correct. If it wasn't for this game, there would be no Steam, because this was the game. This Half-Life and Half-Life 2 were the games that funded Steam.
Wow. Okay. There you go. Let's see what we got next at number 8. It's Red Dead Redemption 2. And yeah, I play the shit out of this game. But here's the funny thing. I have never finished the story. I play online, dude. I love playing online. It's awesome.
Shane.
Yeah.
Where's the bell? Shane.
Did they have enough dialogue from the guy from the first game, from Bill Paxton? Did they have enough dialogue from him, or is it someone else?
No, this takes place. This game takes place 20 years before the first game.
Well, they have the character in it from the first game, but he's more of a side character than he is a main character.
All I know is when I want to relax, I just go on a hunting trip on Red Dead Redemption 2, dude. That Rockstar, you can say what you want about them. I don't play GTA because I'm not into shooting cops, but apparently I might check out one of the newer games like 5, because apparently it's got a good storyline now, and it's not all about shooting cops. It's more.
Well, since you already have this game, start with this storyline first.
Yeah. I'll finish it.
I'm not into that per se either. My dad was at NYPD, but I still had a good time like trying to hold off the wave after wave of FBI helicopters. As a bad guy, I have to admit, like I couldn't eke out a life as a good person in Vice City. I tried being a cab driver, and it just didn't go anywhere. So I started robbing people.
Well, this is the deal, man.
My avatar fell to a bad way.
You know, I'm not a fan of that franchise. But I got to tell you, Rockstar makes some beautiful freaking games. The two AAA game makers that I think make the best games are these guys and the guys that do Last of Us.
Naughty
Dog. Even though I don't agree with their plot points a lot of the time, they do make gorgeous games. They really do. They put a lot into the gameplay. And they're
One of my favorite games is Rockstar game. That's Bully.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, I definitely agree with this being on the list right here. Red Dead Redemption 2 is awesome. Super Mario 64. This may be the Mario game I played the most. And it was because my kids wanted to play it, and I had a 64, and I saw it a lot. That was a huge game. I remember that. The Nintendo 64 was short-lived, but it had some stuff on it like Killer Instinct Gold and this one and
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Yeah, GoldenEye was probably the one I played the most.
One of the few shooters I ever played.
Star Fox 64 was definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, but this one, Super Mario 64, played a lot. Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe. If you haven't, I know you probably haven't watched it yet, but I would definitely go back and check out SGDQ or AGDQ speed runs of this game. And you'll be like, what the hell? Like, that's not how I played it.
Right.
And and they did do that 35-minute run of Boulder's Gate. So you and John should really check out that run.
A 35-minute run of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
They speed ran it. Yeah, for this last AGDQ that ended a couple weeks ago.
It's something Knock always fills us in on what they're doing on it. Yeah.
Did they take the evil route? Because I mean, that's really
I
the only
didn't
way you
watch
can
that
stick to
particular one.
Act
I don't really have a big interest in Baldur's Gate right now, but
you can go back and watch it on
awesome.
Twitch, Kevin. It's up there.
Yeah,
Right.
or YouTube. The Twitch will. I think YouTube would probably be better because it would show you the exact clip or the exact just that game rather than having to surf through because Twitch doesn't do it by game. They do it by like 24 to 48 hour increments because their AGDQ is a week-long event. It's nonstop. It never ends for that entire week. So their VODs are very big.
Man. Well, anyway, Super Mario 64, it's a memorable one for sure in the Mario universe. Mass Effect 2 is in at number 6.
Love that franchise.
That's probably the best of them.
Since you're never going to go back to KOTOR, Joe, you got to do this one. The whole series.
I think
I'm going to be playing Mass
Effect. It's on PlayStation.
On
it's on Xbox. Xbox, you can get it for free on Game Pass. It's and it's cheap as hell.
I'll be right back up in a second.
Oh my god, this guy.
Make sure you get the Legendary Edition too.
I picked that up, and I'm going to play that live on my channel.
There it is.
Okay,
well, that's one of them. So that's the start.
It's not the start. It says Mass Effect.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, Joe. That's only one.
You're right. You told me I needed to start playing it. This is the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you need 2 more, and then you'll have.
Well,
but like John said, I would recommend you can play it on Xbox, and it'll look crappy, but I would recommend. It's not bad. It holds up, but the Legendary version has all 3 on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're remastered.
Copy. And
really
for current console. So
okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I just got a brand new Xbox 360.
That would be perfect.
Or not 360, but Series X. I sent my Series S to my stepson. So, yeah.
If you want a maiden voyage game, Mass Effect would be the perfect game for that.
Well, and I'll probably
console.
do it up. I hope it's cross. Platform. No. What do they call that? Backwards compatible.
Oh.
I've been putting different games into it, and half of them aren't backwards compatible. But
I don't know. I don't know if it's the same because I don't deal much with Xbox itself. I know the 360, you had to download or you had to put in another disc that allowed it to play Xbox games. I don't know if there's anything like that on the other Xboxes, but I don't know. Might be something.
Well, like I said, I've been putting my 360 discs in there. Rumble Roses, which is a chick wrestling game I play a lot, it works with it. But the DOA beach volleyball one doesn't. Pissed me off. That made me mad. But anyway,
double check the settings. Make sure the settings don't say
no. There's
no parental settings. Some of them sometimes come with the default settings of parental control.
Yep. Okay, number 5. We're in the top 5 now. Super Metroid. Never have played this one. This is a side scroller too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Well,
they did go to 3D at some point, but I don't know when. But this is
part of its own genre called Metroidvanias.
Okay.
This and Metroid and Castlevania are 2 games that play similar. They got that similar. It's a side scroller, but it's not a scroller because you can go back.
Okay.
So it's almost like a side Zelda. Remember how Zelda you bounce around from different maps?
Never played Zelda.
Okay, well.
Yep. I know what you're talking about though. I've seen Brahma Bull play Castlevania before.
Yeah.
You can go back. Excuse me. You can go back and forth. Yeah.
like Sonic.
Yeah. But this one I really
Definitely a cult following on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know
you'll see that in AGDQ a lot as well. Speed running games like it.
Yeah, I know. There's one guy that really digs it. This has got to be a Nintendo property because the guy I'm talking about. Oh God, what's his name? He's on Friday Night Tights all the time. Him and he runs Geeks and Gamers. Why am I having a mental block?
Ryan Kennel.
That's no.
Jeremy.
Oh,
Jeremy.
yeah,
Jeremy. That's it. Jeremy. He loves this game. So yeah. Okay, and then we got speaking of Zelda, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. How far into the franchise was this one?
This was either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still think Majora's Mask is the better one, but
yeah. Let's see. From I'm looking for a year in here, but they don't have it. That's all right. I can find out. If only there was a way I could find out.
I'm thinking this is the second one.
Yeah?
Yeah, if it's the second one, it's a pretty good game. I remember playing that when I was a kid. It took me forever to get past the boulder.
1991. It's
That's-
the Wayback Machine, boys and girls. Whoa. That's crazy.
Actually, that might be the third one.
Really?
If that's Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
that's the Super Nintendo.
Because the second one is Link's Awakening, I think.
Yeah, Zelda.
Link's Awakening is listed here.
Zelda 2.
Yeah. Okay. Zelda is a big franchise, man. There's a lot of people that dig it. There's a lot of people that dig that one. My stepson included. He loves Zelda. I've heard there's a movie in the works, isn't there?
Yep. After Mario Brothers did
they're
well.
saying that the next wave is going to be nothing but video game adaptations, guys. After the success of Last of Us and everything, we may be looking forward to that. Portal is in at number 3, Portal 2. Now I've played Portal or excuse me, I haven't played it, but I've watched it played. That's a pretty neat puzzle game, it looks like. I mean,
yeah, it is.
It's not my cup of tea, but it's definitely a different slant. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's a puzzle game, isn't it?
Yes.
Where you're opening portals and dropping things through them and stuff like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, it looks neat. It's just not my cup of tea. And then you got, there's the one that Kevin talked about earlier, Super Mario World.
Yeah.
That's on which system?
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo? Yeah. Wow.
It's an introduction of Yoshi.
Yep.
Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dinosaur.
Right? Gotcha. Yeah. This looks heavily slanted towards Nintendo, guys, which is what Jed predicted when we started this thing way back in the Wayback Machine. But yeah, Super Mario World. Hey, man, hats off to you. And then number 1 is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. They say
I could see them
video
putting that as number 1 if they're Nintendo heavy. It's really a good game.
Now, we've covered this for almost a year now. We finally got done with it, but this is all time video games. It doesn't take into consideration anything that's happened over the last few years. I think this list was made. Let's check the date up top here. If I can get this thing to scroll this high. There we go.
Joe.
What? Oh, what you got there, buddy? Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
He's got Breath of the Wild there. Yeah, man. That's
why I bought a Switch
a couple of times?
No, there's just a sequel called Tears of the Kingdom, which I haven't played yet.
Okay.
But that's why I bought a Switch, was to play that game.
Really? Huh. Yeah. So are you guys agree with this list? Do you think they missed a bunch of stuff? Is it Nintendo heavy? I think it's Nintendo heavy.
It's Nintendo heavy.
It looks like they've got a bunch of stuff up front that's all.
There's a
was
lot
that number
of really
1?
good-
that was number 1, man.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yep, absolutely. That was it, dude. Friggin' Zelda Breath of the Wild.
There's a lot of games that I would put on there. But
I'm sure Tears of the Kingdom would make it on the list now. But,
it would.
We're at the top or something.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm completely intimidated by those 2 games, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I just they're so massive that I don't know, and I'm not the biggest Zelda fan, so I want to play them because they're so mad. I'm a huge open world guy, but man, there's just and I watch clips all the time where people are like going into their menu, changing out their bow to an apple and throwing the apple and shooting it with their bow midair and it landing on the monster and them dying. Whatever, just weird trick shot stuff that just is insane.
Yeah.
No, it's a crazy game. And then I saw a lot of the creature tortures on there too. People were coming up with
that's Tears of the Kingdom. That you can build torture machines and all sorts of stuff out of their building.
And swinging dicks, that was a big thing too. That
What?
Was, oh yeah.
Oh,
whenever there's a crafting mode, there's always going to be swinging dicks.
Yeah.
It's an unspoken rule.
I missed that phase of DCUO.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no building in DCUO. So.
Oh man. Well, that is the list. I think they could have reshuffled some of it. I think some of them were a lot lower than they should have been. I think they mentioned GoldenEye right out the gate in the first 20 of them up the top. And I was like, dude, that should be a lot lower on the list, a lot closer to number one.
This was clearly
everyone's list.
It was a millennial.
Everyone loves GoldenEye.
Yep. What were you saying, Doc?
I said this is clearly a list made by millennials.
Yes.
Not
right. Yeah, it wasn't made by guys that were playing the older games.
Because of how many freaking Nintendo games were at top. It's clearly
right.
There was a whole stretch where I didn't play any Nintendo. After the 64, I didn't play any Nintendo stuff until I got my Switch. So I missed most of Wii U. The
Wii was the last Nintendo thing I bought.
GameCube. Never did GameCube.
Yeah.
Most of the handheld games.
Was terrible.
The friggin' I went from the Genesis. Of course, I bought the CD adapter to go with that. Then I had a Saturn.
Sega Saturn was my first one.
Sega Saturn was that one I used for a long time. And you hit the Wayback Machine as ColecoVision, then Atari 2600, and then the Genesis. Then it was the Saturn, and then it was Nintendo 64. And after that, I want to say it was a PlayStation 2 that I bought next. There was a time there where I didn't play video games for a while.
It was a dark time.
I had an NES. I did have that. But it was a dark time. It was. But got a PlayStation 2, got a 3. Then I bought the 360 to get Fable. That was, this is, I guess about that time is when they started having exclusive games for the consoles. And I bought that 360 to play the Fable series. I'm really glad I did too, because I enjoyed the hell out of the first 3 chapters of it. After that, it kind of went to shit when they put the Kinect game out. And then I went back to PlayStation for DCUO, PlayStation 3. And it's been a 4, 5, and on. And this is the first. Well, I had that Series S, and this one popped up on Rhonda's Marketplace, so I went ahead and got it. The X. I'm still loading games into it. So, oh wow, look at this Odyssey.
The Odyssey, yeah,
Oh,
Magnavox Odyssey. I had one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I took the opposite path. I was always an Xbox guy.
Yeah. I mean,
I had the PlayStation early on for the days of Siphon Filter. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. My game on the early PlayStation 1, I ended up getting that system because of Driver. I saw a friend of mine play Driver, and
Driver was really good. I remember 1 and 2.
Awesome. Good game.
Yeah. 3 was the first one where you actually got out of the car.
And that's when I stopped playing it.
It was 2 or 3. I can't remember.
Yeah. Yep. It was 3. It was 3.
It was 3. Yeah. I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
The game
the first
I bought.
You never left the car.
Yep.
The game I bought a PlayStation 1 for was actually Soul Blade.
Really?
Because I was at a con, they were showing off their PlayStation. They had some Japanese games, but they showed the opening to Soul Blade, and I was just like, "Wow, I got to buy this. I got to buy this system."
Yeah.
The one thing that I hate COVID for, outside the obvious, is my dream was always to was it Mecca? Is it the holy place that you travel to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, I always wanted to go to an E3 where they were releasing a new console for both PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah.
And now I'll never get to do that.
Never get to do that.
And now they're all separate. They all do their own thing now, and I'm not going to go separate places or anything like that. But it was all in one place. You had one in the afternoon, and then you had the other one in the evening, or whatever the case it was. And
it was the video game.
Nintendo had their thing.
Yep.
Nintendo was kind of the first one to really break off, but that was always my dream was to go to one of those events when a console was releasing. And now I'll never have that.
Well, I'm sorry you're never going to live the dream, brother. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But we are here
This
every
is
Wednesday to
Council
talk that geek
Wolves.
shit. So we will be able to reminisce about those days. Listen, guys, we've got about 5 minutes left, so it's time to start hitting the road. Is there anybody that wants to push stuff I'm not going to push? I know I'm pushing John's stuff, so I've got him covered pretty much. You can find him on Pop Culture Minefield on the evenings, but I'll be getting into that in a minute. Teague, would you like to push anything for your channel before we get out of here, sir?
Tomorrow I'm probably going to maybe make an upload. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll be back. I'm on Fridays, usually around 12:30 to about 3, and I come back from 6:30 to 8:30. And Sundays I'm on from 7:30 till whenever, unless there's like a huge football event. So this week I'll be on, and the Super Bowl week I won't be off. My link's in the chat. I do pop culture. I do Star Trek and Star Wars, MCU, and other stuff. I also talk about other things in pop culture, as well as like the Disney Civil War and things of that nature. So check me out.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you made it,
having
man.
me, man.
And I will send
That's
you
fine.
an invite every week. You can come by and hang out with us. Even though I'm a mouthpiece for Roger Goodell and you hate me,
That's right.
you can still come hang
That's
out. We
right.
can still be friends. We can still be friends.
Anti-Jets propagandist. I had so much fun with that this year.
You're a
Thank you
Jets
for giving me
jihadist,
some-
sir. I have to counterpoint you. I have to.
I was just like, I'm going to tell this person my conspiracy theories about the Jets and just see what happens.
We had a ball with it all year long, and I'm
was
sure
fun.
we're going to be on twice Super Bowl Sunday, so we might even call you in for the rap show.
I'll tell you what happens in the real Super Bowl that's on next
Joe,
week that I'll be
Yeah.
watching.
Joe, real quick, I got something.
Okay, what you got?
Now this is internet rumors, so
Okay.
you can take it with a grain of salt if you'd like.
Okay.
There's a rumor out there that Star Wars Outlaws could release on May the 4th.
May 4th? No
They're
way.
aiming for it. Like
That-
that's pure rumor. Do not take this as fact, but they're aiming for a May the 4th release, which
That
would be
cool.
pretty freaking cool.
That would be fucking
Yeah.
cool. That's the open world game, right?
Yeah.
See,
the one we watched the trailer for. Yeah, the chick.
I'm not going to buy it the first day. I don't do that anymore. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to have my ear to the ground on that one and see what's that one's about.
Guys, just real quick, with a whopping 24 votes, so this is scientific. The 49ers 50%, Chiefs 41%. They really crept back in there, and 8% still believe that somehow the Patriots are going to pull this one out.
Well, we're going to talk about that coming up on Super Bowl Sunday for sure. But that's great, man. Okay, we got it, man. We got it.
We like to have fun over on my channel. What can I tell you?
And that's cool, man. We like to do it here too. I just don't know how to put up a poll, or I would. Okay, boys and girls, you're watching State of the Atmosfere. We do it every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. So come check it out. It's all pop culture, movies, shows, games, all that good stuff. We get into all of it, and we give you a pop culture update every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. And here in about a half an hour at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, all these times are Central, by the way, you can go to Pop Culture Minefield and watch Game Night with John, man. He's going to be playing Palworld for the first time. Well, actually, he's played it himself, but he's going to start a new character, I think, from the ground up for people to see it, right?
No, I'm gonna pick up where I left off.
Are you going to pick up where
I haven't gotten very far, so
okay, solid. So if you want to see what Palworld's all about, you can come over there and check it out at 8 o'clock here in about a half an hour on Pop Culture Minefield channel. I'll be over there to troll him while he's messing up too. So come see us. And then you can watch me working on my comic book. Oh, and by the way, John's show is also on Fridays on Pop Culture Minefield at 8 p.m. And that one, he plays Baldur's Gate, the one he got me hooked on. I've put like 67 hours into that already. So don't forget, Game Night is on twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then Friday, you can see me sketching my passion project, the story of America's Pirate Patriot, sketching the privateer, every Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. It's a new time because I want to have my Saturdays and Sundays to myself so I can go see movies and stuff. I'm actually going to go see Beekeeper this weekend. That ought to be fun. Anyway, you can watch me work on the comic book every Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. And then with a new time. The Brothers Hack the Matrix will be starting off its new season this week on Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time. So come check that out after I'm done playing Baldur's Gate with Kevin. My blue Kevin down there. We're going to be playing it Sunday for the first time together in a co-op mode. Might even stream that. We need to think about that, Kevin.
We should.
Anyway, after we're done with that, we're going to be doing The Brothers Hack the Matrix. It's the headline-driven show where the brothers show you the clown show that is 2024 in today's headlines. Check that out for the first time on its new time, 5 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. And then Monday morning, one of my favorite movies Gary's picked to do on Military Monday, No Way Out with Kevin Costner. I love this movie. I think it's fantastic. One of those great action movies from back in the day. And we're going to look at it from a military slant on Military Monday at 10 a.m. Central Time. And then It's Only Talk and Roll comes back at 4 p.m. Central Time on That 70s Rock Fans channel. And I think we're doing a movie. Do you remember what movie he was talking about doing? I don't remember. But, if you didn't see this show about what makes a song heavy, go back and watch the replay, and you can find out there, because I don't remember what it is.
Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero, yeah, one of the most underrated Arnold Schwarzenegger movies ever, just for the soundtrack. I think that's why he wants to do it. He wants to talk about the music in it. But anyway, we're going to do it at 4 p.m. Central Time on Monday. And then Tuesday, I'll be back with Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, and we're going to play some more Wet from the PlayStation 3 days. That game that has bullet time where you can watch the hot Ruby Malone blow everything away, where there's 6 guns and her sword and everything. If you're into Quentin Tarantino type stuff, you need to check this out. It's a pretty cool game. And I'll be playing it at 10 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday. And like I said, we're off this week on Pregame Party, but we will be back for the Super Bowl at 10 a.m. Central Time, Super Bowl Sunday, and we will be on after the broadcasts go off the air after the game. So that ought to be fun. We're going to wrap the season after the Super Bowl. So we'll be on twice on Super Bowl Sunday, but we're off this week. So for myself, the Knockster, Admiral Teague, the guy with the greatest friggin' avatars on the internet, as far as I'm concerned. I love his avatars because they're from classic Star Trek, damn it. Anyway, Das Wolfen, I will see you in a half an hour on your channel. Yep. And my Blue Kevin, I will see you Sunday when we play Baldur's Gate. And the rest of you, thanks for coming. Let's check the chat one more time before we get out of here. Let's see. Radioactive says, Admiral Teague, see you at Pop Culture Minefield chat. Okay. It'll be good to see you guys over there. So for all of us on the panel, we want to thank you for being here. Follow everybody on this chat if they've got a channel, for sure. Go give me a follow on Rumble, because I need the help over there. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless. Miss Alcock ain't going to look as good as that Supergirl right there. That's Foxy. Woohoo! All right, boys and girls. We'll see you next time.
You might be a little bit biased there.
I am a little bit biased.